how to not only raise your vibration, but shift it. Your vibration is your energetic face that you send out into the world. It's how people greet you and get to meet you before you even open your mouth. Your vibration dictates how well you connect to your intuition, how much you connect to your vibes, your guides, your angels, how you manifest. And most importantly, it's how you actually get to connect with yourself and welcome life. When we aren't aware of our own vibration or get stuck in low vibes, what happens is we get stuck in negativity, disconnect from our creativity, from each other, and oftentimes feel sad and stuck. But the solution isn't actually to try harder. It's actually to start to clear those mirrors so you can raise your own vibration. And today I'm going to teach you how, with 3 of my favorite tools that I've taught hundreds of my clients, to help you not only raise but shift your vibration so you can live at a higher frequency. Hi, I'm Sonia Tully. I'm a 4th generation intuitive, and I help people connect back to their innate divine GPS, their intuition. And today we're going to talk about something so important, and that is vibration. And vibration is also how we actually hear and connect to our own intuition. Because intuition doesn't speak in words, it speaks in vibration. And that vibration is the subtle pulse of your spirit, your innate divine consciousness that lives within you. And when we end up in these low vibration frequencies, what happens and what it really means is that we're disconnected from our own innate divine consciousness. And how we can do that is so many different ways. But what we end up doing is having to clear those mirrors, clear those windows so that we can just better find and connect to that inner light within. And so if you've ever been around somebody who's been a low vibe, who's had maybe a negative vibe, something maybe you've come up against, maybe you've met them at an office or a party or somewhere and you know nothing about them, but their vibe speaks volumes. They might be super put together or have a really high job or something but something in you says this doesn't feel off, this feels off, this doesn't feel good. Or when you leave a situation or an interaction, you end up feeling, ugh, that is somebody's vibration. And the interesting thing about vibration is vibration entrains. And so whatever the dominant vibration is, and if it's a low vibration and we're not aware of our own vibration, then that's where we can get sucked up into other people's currents. And that's where you get bad vibes, psychic attacked, disconnected, overwhelmed. So how do we end up not only becoming more aware of our own vibration, but actually make sure that we don't get stuck in low vibe energy? So the first thing that I even just want to say is check out in my comments in the link below that I have a really wonderful spiritual toolkit. And not only does it have really powerful meditations to help you raise your own vibration, but actually a bunch of tools to help you become more aware of the different types of vibration. So first of all, let's talk about different types of vibration in the world. One, we have mental vibration. That's the language of the intellect. And the intellect is what organizes the world around us. It works in right, wrong, good, bad, all, or nothing. And we love the intellect. The intellect is so important. It not only is about information, but helps us categorize and organize. But the thing is it's not the only type of intelligence. And in our world, we love that intellect. We think that whatever is right is the way that we should navigate our lives. But in reality, when we really think about it and you really connect, it's like, what is right? Right for you, right for society, right? So we can shift away from that intellect, from right and wrong, to what is true. connecting to your own vibration, we actually create a whole huge shift in our lives. So one, being aware of what is mental energy. What is a mental vibration? A mental vibration is the ones that talk a lot. I like to say a lot, it's like a little rotisserie chicken on a spit that goes around and around and around and around and around. It's trying to constantly figure things out. And when we get into that vibration and we get into that mental overload, we get disconnected. One, from our feeling bodies. This is where our spirit lives. Your spirit doesn't live here, it lives here. And that's why it's like when you love something, when you're connected, when you feel guided, everything in you opens up. But when you're in the mental vibe of trying to figure it out, just notice how your whole body contracts. It's like, like wearing a pair of pants that are too tight. And your mental vibration will always try and figure things out, and it will also be critical, negative, and what it's really trying to do is protect you. Trying to protect you from the world. It's trying to keep you safe with a very limited amount of information that it has. And so when we can be aware, one, being aware of what is mental energy, which is as opposed to the vibration of your spirit, you can start to become more aware and make a choice. Now let's talk about the energy of your spirit, your innate divine consciousness that lives in here, right here. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to try hard. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is start to get quiet underneath the chatter and start to listen. And you might think, how can you do that? Oh my God, I've been trying to do that. I got all these tools, I got all these books, I got all this information, but I'm not connected to the feeling. Well, one thing is when we're disconnected from our own vibration, even from our own spirit, that means that we're trying to figure things out, trying to figure life out. But there's an instant meditation that I learned from my mom, Sonia Choquette, and learned more from my Nana. But the first thing you're gonna wanna do is take a deep breath in through your nose, and then exhale out your mouth like you're going down a slide. And do that 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna encourage you, try it right now while you're watching this video. And you'll notice that it starts to drop our own consciousness from this place, and even in that place of starting to make some noise to come back to our physical bodies. That is your spirit. And after going down the slide a few times, I'm going to share another tool with you that I call instant meditation. It's a very powerful way to connect with your own spirit. So put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale like you're exhaling 10 birthday candles. And just close your eyes for a moment and bring your attention to your heart space. And you'll notice, even if you're doing it along with this video, that what will happen is that mental energy of trying to figure it out, that chatter will start to quiet, and you'll start to be able to better connect and feel your spirit. Feel the pulse within your heart space that is guiding you. And that alone, the more that we can connect to that, make room for that, recognize that, the more that we instantly raise our vibration. Because we shift from looking at each other from role to role, me and my identity, who I am, from soul to who you are, your thing. How can I navigate? How can I keep myself safe? From soul to soul, I see you. It's like namaste. The light within me recognizes the light within you. So in order to start to raise our vibration, start to become aware of it. Who's doing the talking? Is it the mental energy that's trying to push life and manage it away? Or is it your own sweet little spirit that's here that you just need to make a little bit more room for? You know, second of all, the thing that happens a lot is if you think we come into the world just as such high, pure little itty bitty beings. My sister just had a baby and she is absolutely wonderful. And I just got to spend a little bit of time with her, but being in her energy was amazing because she was present. And what she did was she would entrain everybody who was around her to come into her dominant energy. I also feel the same way about dogs and like cats. They bring you into the present moment. They bring you into their high vibration where they just are. So it's not about having to change your vibration, but actually about coming back to your natural state of clean energy. You know, I had a client And when we started talking, I gave her a reading, and this client was named Jamie. And Jamie was somebody who constantly was negative. Every single thing that we talked about, it was negative. It was, there was no solution. She was stuck, and she was like, I am so sick of being stuck in this place of being in no solution and feeling disconnected and just feeling like my life is miserable. And so when we started to connect, the first thing that I noticed is she had no creativity, she had no fire, she had no breath. When we're in that place of perpetual negativity, that is where we often get stuck. We get disconnected from that place of creativity. And then we started actually connecting, how was the story and how did she start to see herself? And what I found about Jamie was that she was really negative as a way to try and protect her heart space from disappointment. And that she actually grew up in a home and a family that was negative. That was how they tried to bond with one another. They spent a lot of time around the dinner table talking about what wasn't working or gossiping about the neighbors or X, Y, or Z. And that was not only a way that she learned how to connect and relate to people, but actually how she started to see herself, and that how she saw and thought about the world was in that same way. When you think about it, how your thoughts become your beliefs, which become your view of how you see out into the world. And to start to clean that off, it's starting to have to bring our consciousness to what do you believe to be true? What do you tell yourself? And how can we actually let go of the stories about ourselves and the world around us? We tell stories as a way to make sense of the world, make sense of our own experience. And a lot of times those stories can become what is our viewpoint and our narrative. For Jamie, her narrative and viewpoint that first even came from her family of origin, that was the world is a terrible place. You should not trust anybody. And it's better to be negative because it's more realistic than being creative and being positive. But what happened is when you see the world and you're a hammer, everything is a nail. So no matter what beautiful opportunities, no matter what came her way, she poo-pooed them as not good enough, as bad, as a trap, as somebody wanting something. And that was that place of where she was stuck. So we had to start to change that belief, and starting to connect back to maybe opening up to expectation of, I don't know. And that could be a good thing. I don't know what gifts of the world and the universe are going to start to show up, and how to start to reconnect to that. And in that same way of being in an incubator that was negative, that she could start to actually connect back to her own place of positivity by practicing even self-love. The more that we can practice loving ourselves, the more that we can connect to our own compassion and own space, that is another beautiful way that we can raise our vibration, because the highest vibration is the one of the heart. That's why love is so healing. That's why we say, like, God, the universe is love. That is all there is. And it can be really easy, for Jamie, she was like, I really struggle with that. How am I going to do that? I'm super critical. And I thought, well, there's something called a heart-centered meditation. And it's a beautiful meditation. And what you can do is actually, just that same tool, hand on your heart, hand on your belly. Think about somebody that you love. It might be a family member, it might be a pet, it might be a friend, it might be a partner, somebody who just you love unconditionally, a child, something that just warms your heart space. And let that energy pull up all throughout your body. And then think about yourself. Instead of shifting out the place of the person that becomes so easily to love, now send all of that energy back to yourself. That will instantly start to raise your vibration. And speaking of that, a beautiful way to raise your vibration is to think about the things that you love. People that you love, foods that you love. The word I love immediately raises your vibration. And even when you think about it, think about I love. Like, I love garlic. I do, I love it. I love good underwear. I love fun prints. I love my family. I love my best friend. I love my partner. I love adventure. I love travel. And when you just start doing that, you'll notice how your own vibration comes up. So, and the last but not least, and I know it's a longer video, I just realized, is let go. the more that we can let go of old stuff, old self, old ways that we can see the world, the more that we can make space for something new, something beautiful, something present, something high vibration. And when I was talking to my client, Jamie, I was like, what are the things that you want to let go of? And she said, I want to let go of negativity as a way to be loyal. And I loved that. I love that as a way to be loyal to her family. And so when we can think about what are the things that we want to let go of as a practice, as an instant practice, and where can we be passionate and self-loving? Where can we let go of our old stories about the world that we assume? My Nana, who I absolutely love, rest in peace, she just passed, would say, what you know to be true about the world is only true as of now or yesterday. And I love that because it's true. You don't know what tomorrow will bring. So don't be so sure that you do know. Open up to the magic, open up to the mystery, and open up to your own divine sweetness because you are a gift and your vibration is needed. We need you in the world. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked my video, hit like, hit subscribe. I release a new video every week. Download my spiritual toolkit. I got tons of tools. And if you really want to book a reading with me. I do intuitive readings and mentoring. I have a family podcast. I have tons of tools and resources. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. What are your favorite ways? What are some of the things that you love? I'm sending you all my love. Bye.